Hi, everyone. Welcome to the AT&T Countdown to Kickoff. This is going to be a big one, dripping with playoff implications. Intrigued with the lineup. We've seen it, and we're going to show it to you in just a second. It's wild. And on top of everything else, one of Atlanta United's bigger rivals, New York Red Bulls, coming to Mercedes-Benz Stadium this evening. So with all of that kind of in the backdrop, here's Atlanta United now, Jason, coming into the match in pretty good form. They've gotten results in three of their last four. And I really think Wednesday night, look, it was a scoreless draw. And scoreless draws are scoreless draws, but they aren't necessarily all the same. And I thought this was a well played match, very tactical. Big night for Brad Guzan, obviously, but a hard earned point for both teams Wednesday.
Yeah, I thought it was an entertaining match on Wednesday, and Orlando did have their chances. They got an early one in the 11th minute with Daryl Dike, diving header. Brad Guzan made the save, saved the rebound, kicks it out for the corner. This started a great night for the Polar Bear in goal. That first save is a really good one. The second one's even more impressive. I think the most impressive part might be getting to his feet and kicking it out. Atlanta had chances as well. Just a few minutes later, Miles Robinson, who's been so close on set pieces, forces a big save from Brian Rowe. He gets his body behind it, is able to get a little bit of extra power to push it wide. The height that Miles Robinson got up to win that header is pretty ridiculous. But big save from Rowe, both teams with big punches almost landing in the first half. Orlando comes down a few minutes later, and it's another great reaction from Brad Guzan. First shot, Anton Walks has got to do a little bit better here defending 1v1. Robinho gets it off the post, but look at how quickly Brad not just gets to his feet, but gets across to make the save and pick it up. Second half, Atlanta had the control. They didn't have the chances to show for it. Orlando breaks, and it's an incredible save, a save of the year kind of situation here, as Junior Urso just gets in behind the Atlanta midfield that was feeling it at that point. Brad has to come up big to rescue the team. He does. He had one more save to make late. Pretty secure one. Gets his full body behind it. No rebound. And Atlanta United gets the point. Atlanta had chances. Orlando had a few more. But it was a pretty even game that went back and forth in terms of control. I thought that second half where Atlanta was getting the better of the play and starting to get more chances, that I thought they were going to find a breakthrough. Looked like they got a little tired at the very end, and the class of Nani and Mueller started to open things up for Orlando a little bit.
Yeah, and understandable. Nani and Mueller coming off the bench. Atlanta United, they only made two of their five available substitutions because they had control of the match. But obviously, playing on a Wednesday after a Saturday, you could see how fatigue would come into play. But it was a valuable point because now Atlanta United is within 2 points of seventh, which would mean you would host a play-in game in the first round. The seventh place team is the team they're playing this evening, New York Red Bulls. So that's why it creates a very important match for both teams tonight. Now, as far as the injury report is concerned, still with Joseph Martinez, Cubo Torres, Edgar Castillo, Ezequiel Barca, Mateus Josetu all out. So that brings us to the lineup. You know, sometimes when we're getting ready to film the AT&T countdown to kick off, we get the lineup and we're like, okay, well, we kind of expected to see that. We'll break it down. There are other times where we'll get the lineup and Jason and I immediately start texting each other because we have so many things to get off our chest. Let's show you the lineup, and I think you're going to see why Jason and I are so intrigued by it.
Well, let's see. Where do we want to start? We'll go from the back line. Brad Guzan in goal, no surprise. Franco Escobar, Anton Walks, George Bello, Brooks Lennon. You'd expect Escobar comes inside to play as a center back. Not a massive surprise, but a little bit of a surprise. Jeff Lorenowitz, Emerson Heineman, no surprise there. Both have been playing very well lately. Jake Mulroney back in the team. John Gallagher in Adam John's place up top. Jurgen Damm is a very nice surprise. That's a good one. He's had a hamstring injury that has limited his availability. Started to get back into this team, started to show a little bit of that speed. And then you notice a new name that we have not seen yet. This man, Marcelino Moreno, the new designated player in town. He makes his debut for Atlanta United today. He has not trained with the team. He is cleared from the entry protocol into Major League Soccer today, and he is going straight into the team today. No training sessions. He's watched this team play. They've watched him play. I think they have an understanding of what he can do. He has an understanding of the players he'll be lined up with, but they're going to be figuring it out on the fly. And that's 2020 for you in a nutshell.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, Atlanta United does feel confident that he is match fit. Remember, coming from Argentina, he had already basically been in an American equivalent of training camp when he made the move to Atlanta. And he has been individually training through those protocols over the last, say, 8 or 9 days. So it's not like he's coming in ice cold.
Right.
It does feel like maybe just a tiny bit of a roll of the dice because you don't know what kind of chemistry and continuity he's going to have with players that he's not trained with before. But I think it speaks to, hey, it's a player Marcelino Moreno's quality. We've got to get him into this match tonight. It could be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of speed on the pitch. As far as players to watch are concerned, though, Jason, let's start with someone who made the team of the week this week, Brad Guzan. Season high 6 saves on Wednesday. Really saved the point for Atlanta United, as we pointed out earlier. I feel like Brad is really kind of on an upswing now. 3 clean sheets in his last 4 games.
Yeah, when you have a player like Brad Guzan in goal, you can take some chances with your lineup in front of him. Not directly in front of him. He's got players that he's comfortable with, but adding a Moreno into it, when Brad Guzan's in this kind of form, you're okay to take those chances. Brad Guzan had his best match of the season in 2020, and maybe one of his best matches overall in an Atlanta United shirt in 2020, or in his whole career here. It's been that impressive in this one. Big saves, comfortable saves, good leadership. The communication's going to be key today because he has Franco Escobar and Anton Walks in front of him as center backs. Lennon as a right back, he's seen that. Bello as a left back has been consistent. But Brad Guzan leading by example will be a big part of Atlanta United's performance today.
Now, Red Bulls, they have a lot of guys out due to injury and also international call-ups. Kaku has been called up. Caceres has been called up, so they're out. Florian Viloda was someone who scored against Atlanta United when these teams met back in July at the MLS's back tournament.
Yeah, he's a player that has had awful luck with injuries, but he's the one who scored in the 4th minute down in Orlando on the break. He's not just a goal scorer, though, and I think today, with Kaku out especially, Florian Viloda has to take on some of the playmaking that normally falls to Kaku. Very good passer, very technical player. His last 2 seasons have been ended prematurely with ACL injuries. He's healthy this year, and he's going to be relied on today. The question will be, does he play more as a number 10 higher up the pitch, or does he play more as an 8 or a deeper lying playmaker as we've seen him lately? It's a tough one for the New York Red Bulls because just like Atlanta, they're juggling some new players coming into the team in recent weeks. Also, they're dealing with those absences, in their case, some by international duty, others by injury. Florian Viloda, if he has a big game, he's going to create chances for the Red Bulls today.
Well, hopefully those chances will be held to a minimum. Let's talk about the tools to the match now here on the AT&T Countdown to Kickoff. Atlanta United getting forward as they did, especially so a week ago tonight at DC.
Yeah, let's go back to the goal against Orlando first because it shows one way that this team can get forward patiently. And that's something that's going to be needed today. Look, Atlanta wins the ball in this sequence at midfield. They don't just fly forward. The Red Bulls are not a great team when you pin them in defensively. They like to defend up high. You want to create these kinds of situations from time to time where you work the ball side to side, get them moving, and look for that cross. Tim Parker, Aaron Long, if those are your center backs for the Red Bulls today, they're good defensively on these, but you have to create some of these opportunities to keep them honest. You also have to create some of the opportunities like you did in D.C., where you go forward a little bit quicker. The slashing runs with John Gallagher playing up top today. He's going to have to look for those opportunities cutting in front of defenders, getting to the spot first. He has more speed than Long and Parker. He's going to have to be that kind of forward today for this team. But also you're going to have to win the second ball, just like they did here on this one where Anton Walks plays it long. After a sequence where you switch the point of attack, it falls to Brooks Lennon, no hesitation. Brooks Lennon cuts inside and has a shot. He can still do that from a right back position. He'll be able to pick his spots to get forward. And we know at times he likes to do this. He likes to cut inside and go to goal. That's going to leave Jurgen Damm out wide to do his thing. Also the interplay. And this is another thing where the Red Bulls don't really like to be in the situation on their heels. You want to have those combinations going forward. And in the last one, it's another one from Jurgen Damm but it's a quick cross and he gets between the center backs. That's what you're going to have to look for at times. Adam John, when he comes on today, and I'd expect him to play at some point, he's very good at drifting off of the shoulder of the center back, either getting in behind or getting in front. That movement's going to be key against two guys in Long and Parker, who are among the best in the league at their position and very good if you make it easy for them to defend. You get them moving around a little bit, you can cause them some problems.
I think it's going to be a real chess match between two interim head coaches, by the way, but you've got the speed of Atlanta United against the press of New York Red Bulls. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'll go back to what I said earlier. If there's just even the slightest hint of chemistry, it's, you know, and that stuff takes a while to develop. But if there's just even a tiny little hint between Moreno, Mulroney, Hindman, Gallagher, and obviously Jurgen Damm, this could be a really, really fun match to watch.
Yeah, look, we see players come into national teams where they come in on short notice. They might have a training session. You see this happen. Gonzalo Higuain came straight into the lineup for Inter Miami. When you're a player of the caliber of Marcelino Moreno, you can figure it out on the fly. It's going to be the players around him setting him up in positions to where he can get forward, get into those 1v1 situations that he thrives in, get him some touches early on. I think that's going to be the key, is get him on the ball, get him comfortable. He hasn't played in a game situation since the beginning of March. You want to get him comfortable as quickly as you can here, but the work rate from him will be very high. That's the type of game he gives you. I think Atlanta fans are really going to like their new number 10.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it. It's going to be a lot of fun. 6 o'clock will be the kickoff. Jason getting called up to TV tonight. He'll work with Kevin and Jill on Fox Sports South, and I'll be solo on the radio on 92.9 The Game. So if you want to learn something, watch TV tonight. We'll be back with you on Wednesday for another edition of the AT&T Countdown to Kickoff. Atlanta United going down to Miami. Have a great night. Enjoy the match, and we'll see you on Wednesday.